Hi, everyone. So today we are going to do the math activity for the intermediate packet for April 16th together. So this video looks a little different than what you've been seeing and when you've been completing your work with me. And that is because the online curriculum that we use has changed months and I no longer have access to these two pages in the online version. So I printed them. I have it just like you have it. And I thought we'd just go through it together. And I've already written my name at the top. It's always great to take the opportunity to practice writing your name. It's very, very important that you know how to write your first and your last name. So you don't have to practice your last name right now, but maybe flip the page over and you can practice writing your last name as well. And be sure to use a capital letter to begin with and then lowercase for the rest, and try to stay in that designated space. Okay? Great job. And if you would like to pause this video and go to BrainPop Junior and watch the video on modeling multiplication. It's in the math section, and I think you could look at the one on arrays. There are different ones on multiplication there for BrainPop Junior, and those are always fun to watch and kind of get our mind thinking about how multiplication works and how the math concepts that we're learning about are used. And there might be one on repeated addition, because that's kind of another way. Repeated addition is actually multiplication. When you multiply, you're able to do that repeated addition much more quickly. So this is a method of learning how to multiply using visual strategies to help you understand how that multiplication process works. So at the top of the page, it says, Emily is putting drums into boxes. There are 3 boxes. So that's why you have 3 squares on your paper, and you can see them on here. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so we can see all 3 squares. And then it says there are 2 drums in each box. So I'm not really very good at drawing a drum. And luckily the paper knows that. It doesn't matter that we don't have to draw a drum. It says that the squares represent the boxes and we are supposed to make X's to represent the drums. And then we will figure out how many drums are there all together. All right? Then if you go all the way to the bottom of your paper, we see that it says 3, that there are 3 boxes. 1, 2, 3 boxes, times, this is our multiplication sign. It says times. So it's a way, instead of saying adding, we are going to be increasing our number, but we're doing it by multiplying, or there's multiples in each box. It tells us that there are 2 drums, and that's what they said. There's 2 drums in each box, and we're supposed to make X's to represent the drums. So on your paper, you need to put how many X's in each box? That's right, you need to put 2. So I'm going to get my marker that I brought out here, and I am going to put 2 X's in each box. There we go. So you do the same, and then I'm going to hold mine up and you see if yours looks like mine. And it's okay if you don't use a red marker. I just used red because red's my favorite color. But you could use a pencil, because that way, if you make a mistake, you can erase it And that's always a good idea too. I wanted to use a marker so that you could see it really well on the camera. Okay, so there we go. We have 2 X's, or drums, is what it's supposed to be in each box. So our problem says 3 boxes times 2 drums equals how many drums all together? All together. So instead of saying 2 plus 2 plus 2, we have 3 times 2. If we did 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals, we would come up with the same answer because we've written 2 3 times. And that's how multiplication works. 3 times 2. So let's count our X's to get our answer. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 boxes with 2 drums in each box means that there are how many altogether? That's right, 6. I'm going to write the number 6. Three times 2 is 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Let's count our touch points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing. Or you can skip count. 2, 4, 6. And that is how it works. Now, you have another problem that looks like another page that looks like this. It's bells, and there's still boxes. And again, there's a spot at the top for your name. So it'd be great if you put your name on it. Again, you can take some time to do that. I'll take time to do that. Oh, and there are going to be many, many more items. This is a much bigger problem. And this is where multiplication comes in handy. Okay, so it tells us that Chris is putting bells into boxes. There are 4 boxes. So you see that you have 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. There are 6 bells in each box. So you are going to make X's to represent those 6 bells in each box. Our squares represent these boxes. And when you make your X's, that will represent the bells. Then it asks how many bells altogether. So our problem looks like this at the bottom. 4 boxes, and you can trace that number 4 times, you're doing multiplication, times 6 bells in each box, and you can trace that number 6 bells in each box, equals how many bells all together? So this is a much, much bigger problem. We're going to practice. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to put some X's in the boxes. Do you remember how many X's we need to put in each box? You got it. 6. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to count for my first box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I made a little bit of a pattern with mine, 3 and 3, so it was easier for me to visually see that I had the 6 in each box versus if I just randomly made X's. As long as you get 6 in each box, it doesn't really matter, but it might be easier for you if you do something like this. Okay, so I'm going to continue. We need to go to the next box and put 6 X's for the bells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then keep going. And if you get lost or stuck, just pause the video. And stop and think about what you're supposed to do. I'm going to give you a few minutes to get that done. Not really minutes, but a little bit of wait time so that you can get that finished, okay? And if you're not done, go ahead and pause and pick back up. Push play again when you're ready. But if you are ready, we're going to continue. Okay, so your paper should look something like this. 4 boxes with 6 squares in each box. So we have 4 times 6 equals how many altogether? So one strategy, and the strategy actually that we're going to go ahead and use, is we're going to count all the X's. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24, that was a lot, wasn't it? So remember, when we're making the 24, we're going to put 2 in the tens column, 2 tens, and 4 in the ones column. It's a 2-digit number. 24. 2 tens and 4 ones. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. 24. If you did repeated addition, what you would do is you would write 6 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals, and the answer still is 24. If you put touch points on all of these 6's and counted them all up, it would be 24 touch points, just like we had 24 X's. And that is why learning multiplication is a faster way to be able to complete math when you have bigger numbers to do. Does that make sense? The same way, if you had 6 boxes with 4 bells in each box, the answer would still be 24. The arrangement would look different, but your total number would be the same. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed doing this multiplication activity with me. Tune in next week to our videos when we move on to a new learning packet, some new vocabulary for the month of April. Bye. Have a great weekend.